Ambassador Deepak Vora is joining me live. Ambassador, this is in fact redefining of history. As I've been saying, it's the first time that we've seen a military operation of this scale since the year 2003 when Iraq went to war. Secondly, also the unprecedented nature of the kind of retaliatory strikes we've seen coming from Iran. And you have the supreme leader being eliminated. What do you make of the situation at the moment? Everyone is on tenterhooks, not just the Middle East.
Well, thank you very much. Always a pleasure early morning to be with you. And I was listening to your conversations, which are absolutely outstanding. Your knowledge of the region is excellent, Beta. May I compliment you?
Thank you, Ambassador.
I've been 20 years there. And there are many who will talk through their hats about what is happening over there. This was a brutal, unelected, undemocratic regime. Who elected this joker? I'd be happy to know. This is an institution. Iran is not a personalized dictatorship like Libya was. It's an institutionalized dictatorship. So the Ayatollah Ruhollah Khamenei named this character. This character is 90. If he is about to die, he would name another Ayatollah. What's going on? What are the people of Iran? What is the possibility they have of choosing their own leader? I believe, and this I'm saying after being in that region for a long time, I believe that the United States has done a favor to democracy in the Middle East. This was the one holdout. The others are hereditary monarchs, fair enough. But they have also, like Saudi Arabia, UAE, started now relaxing their stranglehold on the system. But these guys were not. May I also tell you something, ma'am, about how Islamic they are? You do recall, I'm sure your other guests will recall, 1980 to 1990 when Iran and Iraq fought a war. Forgive me, I'm still sleepy. When the Shah was booted out, I was in that region. And then, of course, these fellows came and then they fought a thing. At that point of time, the Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini said, this is not an Iranian revolution, it's a Middle Eastern revolution. Now, let's target all the monarchies and kick them out. Well, that was hardly intended to win friends and influence people. So the monarchies told a fellow called Saddam Hussein, go beat up these guys. They fought. 10 years, the war was inconclusive. Thereafter, the Arab Spring in 2011. Oh, says this same Ayatollah fellow. I'm sure he's with whoever he has to be in heaven. Oh, this is not just an Arab revolution. It's an Islamic revolution. What's going on, I say? Who on earth are you? Are you appointed to spread Islam throughout the world? No, thank you. I don't want it. So, ma'am, I'm sorry if I'm firm about this, but having seen the kind of havoc that this man has played, what is your issue with Israel? Ma'am, if your experts can tell me, why does Iran, which is not even a Middle Eastern country, 2,000 kilometers away from Israel, why do you hate the Jews? Why does your constitution at one time say Jews have no right to exist? Have the Yehudis, have the Jews, I have a Jewish son-in-law, have they ever said that Iran has no right to exist? Why are you messing around there? Why Hezbollah, Hamas, Houthi? Who are these characters? Your uncles, your sons-in-law? Stay where you are. You were doing extremely well. Okay, the Shah was a stupid fellow, but the people were happy. You had food, you had bijli, you had pani, you had everything. Now you have very little left. 46 years, what do the people of Iran have? So what do I see happening? The institutionalized system of a theocracy is going to collapse. You can abuse and curse all you want. Trump shouldn't do this. Trump is a scoundrel.
Ambassador, that's a very interesting point that you've raised. But, the examples that we have as history has seen, whether it is Iraq, whether it is Afghanistan, whether it is Syria, whether it is Libya, and as recently as even Venezuela. The way these countries have in fact operated after the US invasions or the foreign interventionism as it's being labeled, that's not been very heartening, and that's also a fear that's plaguing many. Which way do you see Iran actually headed? Do you think that their economy will be able to resurrect as has been the need? The people over there have already said that enough is enough. Not only are they compromising with human rights, as far as the economy is concerned, there's a perpetual cost of living crisis, one that's not just plaguing the urban centers, say of Tehran Bazaar. You have it reaching now even the hinterlands.
You are so right. The Rial has collapsed. You know that after the
Yes.
American invasion or the American-Israeli attack. It's gone. Ma'am, I'm an economist. And sir, you're on the panel, I see you. What did the regime do when inflation crossed 300%? Okay, we'll give $7 a month to each Iranian family so they can have rice on the table. Is this an obscene joke? Are you messing around? Are you playing around with the emotions of people when they're hungry stomachs? You say we'll give you $7 a month? No, ma'am, it doesn't make sense to me. The regime had to go. They've offended everybody. What's the point of hitting Saudi Arabia and UAE?
That's
You remember
exactly the point I've been raising, that perhaps backfired for them. Their own Islamic nations are now against Iran. So Iran couldn't be in a more isolated situation. And
Thank you.
since you spoke about the Israeli point of view, I want to quickly bring in Sanjay Suri. Remember, he's been stationed in Tel Aviv since day one, since Prime Minister Modi, in fact, made that visit to Israel. Sanjay, please weigh in on the point of view of the Israelis. As I said, everybody's been talking about endgame Iran for the United States. But what is endgame Iran for Israel?
Well, the endgame has begun now. And the endgame really was three-fronted. One, regime change. There is a belief in Israel that there can never be a reform or change in Iran, given the kind of Islamist regime that was in place. Second, to finish once and for all the nuclear capacities of Iran. And third, to decimate its missile system. All these three working together have been a threat to the very existence of Israel, to the very survival of Israel. Israel has taken the view that it's been going on too long. It's one thing after another, one round of talks after